still living in Australia? Still? No? Yeah. Oi, oi, oi. When I was still living in Australia, I was in charge of the girls' bat mitzvah, well, obviously, the bat mitzvah program in my school. And we developed a curriculum around, apparently there's a volume issue. We developed a curriculum around a very little known midrash called Midrash HaGadol, which is a 13th century midrash from Yemen. And it's a midrash on Esher Chayil. And it basically takes each of the psukim of Esher Chayil and connects the pasuk to a woman. So there are 22 psukim in Esher Chayil, and 23 women that are represented in the midrash. And there's only one pasuk in Esher Chayil, which is divided into two and is connected to two women in Tanakh. And since today is Purim, can anyone hazard a guess which two women? Esther and Vashti. And the pasuk, anyone want to have a guess from Esher Chayil, which of the psukim is Esther and Vashti? Nope. Sheker Hachen Behevel Hayofi is Vashti. Isha Yirat Hashem Hitit Halal is Esther. So the wonderful thing about this midrash as an educational tool is it doesn't give you any answers. It just tells you. So there are these psukim, and it tells you that each one is a woman. And then the job of the girls was to go into the text, go into the Tanakh, and try to work out why these 13th century rabbis in Yemen associated this pasuk with those particular women. So then the question is, why is Sheker Hachen Behevel Hayofi related to Vashti? Is there any actual textual reason why that should be the case? And it's actually pretty ironic because the word chen is used 3 times to describe Esther and not Vashti. So it seems incongruous that it should be the word chen is used to describe Esther, not Vashti. So, is it perhaps something to do with their look that makes it like that? So if you look at the text and look at how Esther and Vashti are described, they're described in almost identical ways. So Vashti is described as Tovat Mal'ehi, she was good to look at, and Esther is described in almost exactly the same way with a little bit of a difference. She's described as Yefat Toar v'Tovat Mal'eh. So it doesn't seem like it's their looks that should make them these diametrically opposed characters in Esher Chayil. So then what is it about them? Yosef Karo suggests that the difference between Esther and Vashti is that Esther was tall, so maybe that height is more than just a physical attribute. And Yosef ibn Yachai, he makes a very interesting commentary. And he says that there are people in the world who look beautiful, but as you get to know them more and more, become less beautiful in your eyes. And there are other people who maybe start off less beautiful, but as you get to know them and get to know their personality, they become more and more beautiful in your eyes. So perhaps this is the difference between Esther and Vashti, that they both started off with the same level of physical beauty, but it was something in their personalities that made one Sheker Hachen Behevel Hayofi and the other Isha Yirat Hashem. So what is it about their behaviour that differentiates them? So if you look at all the verbs in the Megillah that are used to describe the two women, there is a very interesting verb that's used to describe Vashti. When Vashti refuses to come to the king's Seudah, the verb that is used in the Megillah is v'tema'en. Now, v'tema'en is a really interesting verb because it's only ever used once more in the entire Tanakh. Anyone know? No? About a woman. Sorry, a woman. V'tema'en, a woman. It's Yocheved. So Yocheved, it's 2 instances in the whole Tanakh, and in both instances it's a woman refusing a king's decree. So Vashti refuses to come to King Ahasuerus's meal, and Yocheved refuses to send her firstborn into the Nile River. And what's interesting is that In one instance, Yocheved is able to say no but outsmart the king, whereas Vashti just says no and then becomes a victim of her circumstances. Whereas Yocheved, instead of becoming a victim of her circumstances, uses her intelligence to outsmart the decree and thereby save the Jewish people. And I might suggest that this is the difference between Vashti and Esther. Esther could have also chosen to be the victim of her circumstance, but after she got a very stern speaking to by her uncle Mordechai, she decided instead to use her brains and take action in order to oppose the decree of the king. And maybe that's the difference, is the difference between just using one's beauty and using one's intelligence as well. Happy Purim.